Welcome back to Trading Hour on CNBC-TV18. Shifting focus to the latest job and hiring trends that we're seeing coming in. And this is coming from the Naukri jobs peak data that was released yesterday. Now, what we're seeing this time is 9 out of 16 sectors that showed positive year-on-year momentum. However, there was no growth in fresh hiring, and while IT softwares that continue to see a decline, AI and ML learning, sharp surge on that front as well. To discuss more of this, we have Pawan Goyal, who is the Chief Business Officer at Naukri.com, joining in with us. Pawan, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Let's just start by talking about IT trends. That remains a concern every time that we talk about. This time also a decline that we're seeing coming in. Overall, if you could talk to us about what are you seeing in terms of the main concerns coming in. Also, is it just senior level hiring trends that are not happening on IT, freshers, if that is what we're seeing? What is the trend on the IT front that now we're seeing?
See, what we are seeing in IT is premiumization of talent. If you look at the senior experience band, there is growth in IT hiring in senior experience band. But on the other hand, on freshers, there is very little hiring or very little hiring growth. Now, however, if you turn to non-IT, there are segments where there is fresher hiring as well. However, on the premiumization, experienced talent, secular, both IT, non-IT. In non-IT, we see fresher hiring, but not in IT. In IT,
Okay.
Clearly that, as you called out, AI, ML, that is a secular trend. We've seen that 20 to 50% kind of increase in hiring for almost more than a year. So that trend is secular and here to stay.
Okay, AI and ML is here and secular and here to stay. Are there any other specific sectors also that are now looking out for more candidates coming in on this AI, ML related learning form or jobs over there? Because everyone is integrating AI with themselves. So how is that moving?
So in general, in non-IT sectors also, usually there's a demand for tech talent. And we saw that happen during the COVID wave. And I think that that continues to be there. Now, we've not yet seen a shift, particularly in any of the non-IT sectors. Now, in terms of the other sectors which you said, which might be doing well, this unicorns. Unicorns are seeing a very robust hiring across cities. So there's a 19% growth in unicorn hiring. So the startups are still creating good jobs in India.
Right. Startups specifically also, I'm seeing Pune in startups, that has done well this time, right? Are there any other cities, unicorn startups? So in that front, are you seeing any other trend that is shaping up in other cities as well, whether Hyderabad, Kochi, any other tier 2, tier 1 cities?
So if you take a longer view, tier 2 cities have been growing at a faster clip than the tier 1. However, if you look at May in particular, the growth differential has normalized, and there's a couple of percentage points, which used to be much higher in the previous months.
Pawan, good morning. Thank you for joining in. Now, there are sectors like retail, telecom, management, consulting that have not done fairly well as per your latest trends. But you can leave retail and telecom aside, but even in this consulting business, would you attribute this underperformance to AI? Because what you would generally ask a consultant, pay them a fee, you just ask AI and it will give you that in a matter of seconds. Would you attribute that to AI as a big factor?
So I think we'll have to wait and see for some more time to say that that's really because of AI. But you're right, the AI is impacting in terms of increasing productivity across different functions. Coding and customer service is often talked about, but it is pretty much every white collar segment, it is impacting, increasing productivity. So has the muted job growth recently because of AI or other geopolitical factors or other things? I don't want to speculate on that. We had a significant operation that also happened in this earlier in May. But we'll have to wait and see whether it is because of AI or some of the other factors.
Since it has been such a buzzword, Pawan, what is the weightage of AI that you have on your JobsPeak index?
So we've not called that out specifically. I'm not in a position to call that out right now. But while the growth is substantial, the number of jobs are still, I don't think it will move the needle on the JobsPeak.
Okay, you don't see it moving the needle on the JobSpeak data. Just in terms of trends that are coming in from the consumption side, FMCG managed to see growth this time, right? Overall consumption trend, hiring over there, what is it?
So FMCG saw growth, but it's a modest 2% kind of a growth only. So I think one has to see that on a sustained basis to call it saying it's really changing. I think from the sectors that have sustained for a long duration are real estate, oil and gas, hospitality and travel, insurance. These have sustained hiring growth for several months. So those are the sectors which I would say from a hiring standpoint have continued to do well. One of the things that we saw in this May, which is very surprising, is GCC growth moved from a plus 10% in April to a minus 5% in May. I hope it remains one-off and the GCC growth story continues back. But that's a pretty significant swing we saw in April to May.
Okay, Pawan, thank you so much for joining in with us, highlighting the recent trends in terms of hiring that we saw in the month of May. So thank you so much for that. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. And on the other side, we'll discuss the road ahead for Vodafone Idea after the Supreme Court rejects Vodafone Idea's AGR relief plea.